The scene starts in the demon castle. After a furious fight, MC and his friends have cornered the demon lord as they are fighting him. As among the weakest class, Black Mage Kai, MC thinks about Colette and believes that with this, he will finally be with her. As Ares asks MC to stop the demon lord's movement, MC casts a spell named Bloody Bind. He orders it to bind the demon king. But to his surprise, he gets stabbed in turn. Ares smirks out, saying that a black mage is for an older brother, and it's presumptuous of him to even try tasting glory, calling him a Badid. MC's shocked to hear this as the mage named Johann comments that something as evil as Black Mage being the companion of the highest class, even if it's an ordeal imposed on him by God, is just too unreasonable. As MC, cornered down, asks what they saying as he uses black magic, and he has always been helping them. The magic swordsman Erza, mocking MC, taunts that he really is too presumptuous, as she calls him the weakest class. MC, taken aback, thinks that he has worked hard for the last 5 years, and there is only one step left. When they turned 15 years old, everyone received a special ability from God called a class. That day he received the class Black Mage, a dark magic class, hated for being closer to demons than to humans, and the weakest one among all dark attributes. People call it a failed class. As Erza steps upon MC, saying that someone of the weakest class would be treated like a human being, as her share will be reduced if he's alive, she asks him to die. Ares tells MC that his Colette belongs to him now, as he penetrates down MC's chest with his sword. MC screams in agony as the scene shifts to the past. The people whisper that the Black Mage and Saint classes do not match, and the engagement will be broken off, but Colette asks her father that this is too much for MC. As her father only allows her to at least say goodbye, Colette takes her bracelet and gives it to MC, saying to take this. She tears up, saying that this bracelet belongs to him now. She asks him to take good care of it as she bids farewell, saying that they will meet again. In the present, Ares is evilly laughing off on MC, saying that she told him to kill him, and his father was also behind this. MC's father was the strongest knight in the Holy Kingdom. He has trained many brave men and is the head of the prestigious Austin family. As he had remarked, they don't need a filthy black mage in their home, but if he partakes in demon lord subjugation, then he will be able to return to the Austin family. MC shocked to hear this, as Mr. Austin promises that he will also take care of his engagement with his childhood friend Khalid. Shortly afterwards, Khalid was confined in a room in the royal palace and used to develop a great barrier to protect the holy city. If he defeats the demon lord, Colette would be set free, and they would get married and live together peacefully. He made a bloody effort to restore his father's trust and to get Colette back, and finally he got it. His caste level reached level 999 in power, even though his brother betrayed him. As his brother laughs on saying that because his undefeatable younger brother, the older brother, was killed by the Demon King, MC thinks that in the end he was just used by Ares and his father. As his brother laughs on asking not to annoy them anymore, and as he asks him not to worry as he will take full care of Colette, so get away already. As MC crunches down his fist, praying that if he knew it would be like this, he would have taken Colette with him and ran away. He wouldn't care about others or about common sense. He would just pursue his happiness, and that way he would have done that. As the bracelet breaks out and MC hears her voice asking him not to die on her, MC apologizes, saying that he would like to see Colette again at the end. The scene shifts on as MC opens his eyes, hearing a voice asking him how long he is going to sleep. MC hurriedly wakes up as he's huffing out to see Colette on his face. He's troubled that she should be imprisoned. And why is she here? As Colette asks him what's happened as he's soaked in sweat, MC realizes that there are no wounds, as he asks what in the world happened. As Colette greets him good morning. Troubled Kai thinks that something is off, as Colette is supposed to be in her 20s now, yet she looks like she's still quite young. Colette, quite embarrassed, comments if Kai is half asleep as today is their precious day, for which Kai laughs on apologizing to Colette, saying that he must be still half asleep, but Kai gets shocked to see in the mirror that he also looks young. Colette asks him to wake up completely as today is the class revelation ceremony, as she's really looking forward to it. Kai questions if revelation ceremony is being held today, as he asks Colette that what year is it now as he gets close to Colette. He jolts Colette asking if he is not a black mage yet, questioning if this is a dream. Embarrassed, Colette shouts at Kai, saying that he is too close, as Kai snaps out realizing that this feeling is not a dream and he doubts if he is back in time. Kai realizes a mark on his hand that he still has heraldry. Noticing this, Colette questions how does he have a class. Kai is taken back thinking that there is no way, and if he truly was back in past, his heraldry shouldn't be here yet before the revelation ceremony, and he already has a class. Kai opens the status, he realizes that there is no difference from his status from before he died, and he realizes that he is entering the second time. As the confusing things have been happening one after another, but there is one thing that's clear, that right now he's back in time. He questions if it is some kind of magic, but this is beyond any sort of existing magic, and this would be impossible for anyone in that place, even for the demon lord, as he remembers Colette's voice before losing consciousness. Colette calls for Kai, asking if he's okay, and questions about the heraldry. Meanwhile, the broken bracelet falls off from the bed. Colette claims that she thought she had lost this bracelet, but here it is. Kai remembers Colette giving him the bracelet in the past as he realizes that this bracelet is of Colette and all of that happened because of her saint powers. He moves on to hug Colette, saying that it was her, and if they have the knowledge of the first time, they can change the future. Embarrassed, Colette asks if Kai is a black mage. Kai recollects the future Colette's imprisonment, the future him getting killed as he is determined that he will change it to promise Colette that he will never let her go. Embarrassed by hearing this Colette, questioning Kai what he is saying, for which Kai moves back saying that he's sorry, that he suddenly acted up. Colette mentions that it's not like she hated it, but it's so sudden that it surprised her. As she's his fiancée, so even if he wants to do that thing, she can do it. Embarrassed by saying this, Colette mentioned there is nothing, for which Kai asks about the engagement, as he mentions that when his father finds out that he's a black mage, some people would say that they are closer to demons, and that's why engagement will be ended. Colette says that he knows she believes there is no big difference between a black mage and the other classes, and Kai is still him after all. Impressed by this, Kai realized that after everything, Colette is still Colette and she hasn't changed a bit. She never once changed her attitude after she discovered that he was a black mage. Even if everyone hates him, she reached out her hand for him until the end, as Kai trusted no human, but with Colette is different. Kai asks Colette not to get surprised and to listen to him as he reveals that he has returned from 5 years in the future, and the future him and the current Kai in front of her is a level 999 black mage. Colette gets shocked to hear this as she asks how he's from the future and is level 9999, for which Kai assures that he will show her the evidence. He casts a strong spell to summon an archdemon from the bottom of the demon realm. A furious demon appears from the ground. Colette is quite taken aback, questioning if it's really a devil, for which Kai informs her, saying that he summoned it from hell. Level 999 black mages can make contracts with high-tier demons such as Archdemon. The fact that the contract made in the first time is still valid is evidence that he can use all the dark magic he has already learned effortlessly, and most importantly, it is proved that the first time was real. Kai thinks that they wanted to see each other alive as Colette, and he made their dream come true. And if that's the case, he needs to hurry up, but he simply doesn't have time because today is the class revelation ceremony. As the demon lord will be born today. As the furious beast bows down to Kai, Colette falls from this pressure. The archdemon calls out for Kai, asking to give him orders, for which Kai smiles. Kai smiles and apologizes to Colette for scaring her, but he asks whether this is enough proof that he is a level 999 black mage. Colette agrees, saying that she never doubted him in the first place, and he wouldn't lie like that, embarrassing Kai. Colette says that it's amazing, as she heard that 10 holy knights can't defeat an archdemon, and for which Kai adds that the black mage can't learn skills instead. One can master all types of magic, and they can also use a lot of powerful spells. Kai asks Colette to listen to him carefully as he reveals that today she will receive the Saint class, and the Brave class will be given to Ares. Colette asks if another Brave is going to be born from the Austin family, for which Kai says that this is bad if Ares becomes the Brave. From behind, Ares comes in sneakily, asking if he called for him. Kai gets flinched as Colette asks Ares what happened. Colette, noticing that the archdemon is gone, she asks Kai if it left. Ares comes in asking, "What about archdemon and letting that stuff aside? They were talking about him, weren't they? A brave candidate talking about others behind their backs." Colette says that he wasn't talking behind his back, for which Ares comes in close to Colette, whispering that instead of a man like this, why doesn't she do it with him? Kai takes Colette back and shoves Ares to back off, as he orders him to leave right now. Ares unsheathes his sword, asking if he doesn't want to. Ares taunts Kai that his fingers are shaking and calls him pathetic. Kai is about to summon the demon as the situation worsens, but meanwhile a knight comes in calling for Ares, saying that the Duke is calling him, for which Ares sheathes his sword. Kai asks if they should also go out as well, as they leave on laughing. On seeing Kai and Colette laughing, Ares gets angry. On the way of the city, Kai comments the city and the people make him feel a little melancholic, for which Colette says that it has been a while for him. Kai asks if it's still that way. One of the shopkeepers comes in, thanking Kai for getting rid of Goratuski the other day. No one knows that he's a black mage after all. Colette says that Kai is adored by everyone because he is always working hard, but seeing Kai frowned face, she is quite troubled. Later, Kai informs that Ares will be given Brave at the ceremony, but soon he will make a mistake. As a Brave, because of Ares, the demon lord Griselda will be born, and in just 3 days, the Holy Kingdom will perish. Kai says that to be exact, the country will remain, but half of the people will die. To protect the barely remaining holy city, a great barrier will be created. For the sake of its protection, she will be imprisoned in the royal palace. Furthermore, he is meant to receive the Black Mage class and get exiled from the Austin family, and he and Colette end up getting separated. Hearing this, Colette gets shocked, questioning what's with that. She doesn't want that, and she wants to be with him always. Kai smiles, asking if she will come with him as he asks her to stay together. Embarrassed by this, Colette asks if it's a proposal. She hugs Kai, saying that she's so happy and let's be together forever. Hugging Colette, Kai thinks that in the first life, he was stupid, and if he just did this from the start, it would have been better if he hugged Colette much earlier. Kai makes Colette board on the horse, asking her to hide in the Lacus village for a while. She will escape from the calamity of war there that way, and she should reach there in just about 3 days. Colette asks Kai if he isn't coming, for which Kai says that he will stop and prevent the birth of the demon lord. Colette compliments him, saying that he will give his best to protect everyone. She bids farewell, saying that she will be waiting for him and asks him to hurry up and pick her up. Kai smiles, promising that he will sort everything out and come to pick her up. But Colette is mistaken. It's not something beautiful like for everyone's sake. Everything is for his sake. He will rescue Griselda from Ares before she becomes the demon lord and build a friendly relationship with the demons. The demons' cooperation will be essential to counter the future coming pursuers. He learned the truth in the battle against the demon lord. In the past, the Demon King shouted that she finally met his enemy, Brave, and he was the one she will never forgive. Ares recognized her that she's from the back. No one would have known that the harbinger of peace, the Brave, was actually the cause of human destruction. If he saves Griselda from Ares, it may prevent the birth of the Demon Lord. Kai activates his mark as he decides to start the rebellion against this fate. The scene shifts to a deep alley. Ares, with the whips, asks a person if she has changed her mind. He says this is the last time, calling her Griselda, who is covered in injuries, spitting out blood. Ares asks her to kill Kai, for which Griselda is disgusted that he wants her to kill his twin brother, and it's filthy, and she doesn't obey orders from a filthy person like him. Ares whips her down, saying that it seems she doesn't know what happens when one doesn't follow orders. The handcuffs for magic containment having chained on her, for which she warns that if it wasn't for this, he would have been ripped to pieces. Ares asks what she is going to do, as she is his slave, and asks her to know her place. He orders her to go and kill Kai right now, as there's a prophecy that today the Brave will be born, and it probably will be that person. With that, it's sure that Colette and Kai will marry, and it's the worst. He screams that he won't allow it. Both Colette and the Brave class are only suited for him. Brave has overwhelming fighting power, a light attribute chosen as the strongest class by God. Being special is the Brave's privilege, and entering into a house without authorization, theft, property damage, all of them are called Brave's privilege and are legally allowed. He goes on saying that isn't it the best. No one can go against the only existence capable of defeating the Demon King, and if he becomes the Brave, he will be able to get any woman he wants. As he fantasizes about it, he drools out saying that he wants to be brave. But thinking about Kai, he screams that if it wasn't for him, and if she doesn't kill Kai, he will surely receive the status of Brave as Teode is his last chance. Griselda, shivering with pain, asks that that's not a noble reason, and just because he wants many women, he wants to do it, calling him pathetic. Hearing this, Ares continuously whips her down, ordering her to just kill him already, and asking what does she think he bought her for. Griselda screams that he should not to underestimate her, as she's a proud vampire with a demon lord's blood running through his veins, even if it means death, she still won't do as he wishes. Ares says that she is useless trash, as he spent all of his money on her. He unsheathes his sword, saying that as she wishes, he will kill her. He screams out, laughing, telling her to regret her choice from the other side. He's about to kill her, but a demon beside her asks him to stop as she's begging him. Griselda asks Sasha if she has regained consciousness and asks her to just be quiet. Sasha says that she won't, even if it is Griselda's order. Sasha asks Ares that she will go instead to kill him and asks him to set Griselda free. Ares, stepping upon her face, asks if she will go instead, as she is a low-ranked demon and Kai is an Austin family's precious child. He slashes Sasha, who screams out in pain, which makes Griselda angry. Seeing this, Ares smiles, questioning if this maid is that important to her. He goes on saying that there are always demons like her, demons acting like humans, and his father used to do things a lot this way. He is about to slit her throat, saying that he will give her one chance, to say it aloud that she will obey Ares' orders, and her lowly self is a faithful slave of his. She just needs to repeat it. Even a foolish demon like her can do that. Griselda says it's humiliation, for which Ares says that her precious maid is about to die as he is about to kill her. Seeing the situation, Griselda is shivering with anger, as Sasha asks Griselda not to worry about her, but Griselda says that she needs her, so she will obey Ari's orders. Sasha screams out at Griselda, saying that she can't give up her pride. Ari's warning the useless ones not to ignore him. He says that it's fine as he's about to kill Sasha, but a loud thud happens outside the bars as Kai activates his spell to create a huge blast, creating Rukukus. Kai activates his spell as he screams at Ares to stop this. He comes in to punch down Ares, who flies out like a fly. Seeing this, the two girls are quite baffled. Kai is relieved that he made it in time. Griselda asks who it is, for which Kai believes that she is Griselda, he presumes, and asks if it's okay for this little girl to become the demon lord. Griselda is quite troubled by this sentence. Kai says that this girl is the Sasha, and that damn Ares is committing such disgusting acts, for which Griselda asks how he knows their names. Kai says first of all, he has to do something. He uses his healing magic upon Sasha, healing her out. Griselda is surprised seeing this, as her wounds are healed in one go. Kai says that he will heal her wounds too. Kai thinks that Griselda was always an enemy, but what's in front of him is not a demon lord that slaughtered many people, just a poor girl made into a slave. As she is healed, and their binds are broken free. Griselda is quite surprised that the slave magic disappeared in just an instant. Sasha and Griselda hug each other, screaming that they made it, and they are free. Sasha is crying, saying that their territory was stolen by demon hunter Erza, and she thought they were done for. Hearing this name, Kai asks if she could be referring to a red-haired magic swordsman, for which Griselda asks if he knows her. Kai says that he knows her very well. Sensing this, doubtful Sasha asks if Kai is her comrade, for which Kai declines, knowing that Erza, accompanied by thousands of adventurers, went to destroy the demon's territory, and her purpose was money. By selling the kidnapped demons, she made a great fortune. Because the victims were demons, it was supported by humans. With her fame and ability, at just 17 years old, she joined the Braves party. Kai says that being her comrade, he can't help feeling like throwing up just thinking about it. Griselda, seeing this, says that she hasn't thanked him yet as he's their savior. She is deeply grateful and asks for his name, for which Kai introduces himself as Kai Austin. Griselda asks if he is Ari's brother, and isn't he the brave candidate? And why is he saving them, the demons? Kai asks if they could cooperate with him, as he has no place in human society, showing them the mark. Griselda recognizes it as a dark heraldry, and he's a dark mage. Sasha comments that that's why he used dark magic. However, it's pretty weird that he can use two high-level spells at the same time. That's not a level one could reach at such a young age. Griselda agrees, saying that he hasn't fully convinced her, but it's true that he saved them. Kai asks for what reason Ares would make it like that, for which Griselda says that it doesn't matter, as they have to trust him. Ares reveals that Ares wanted them to kill him so he could get the brave class. Kai is shocked to hear this, as to get to know that Ares had wanted to kill him all this time. Griselda smilingly says that obviously she refused, as true demons wouldn't take part in such immoral acts. Seeing Sasha laughing, Griselda says that if he hadn't come, she would have lost an important friend. Kai realizes that after this happened before, Griselda fell into despair, and she developed a grudge against humanity, causing the death of many people. Everything is because of him. He approaches Ares as he activates his spell, thinking that it wouldn't be better to kill him. Remembering his past deeds, he decides that he will kill him now. But the act of killing him, remembering his childhood memories with him and Colette, Kai thinks that if he kills Ares now, he's sure that it will hurt her. Griselda asks Kai what he is doing, for which Kai says to let him think of something. He activates a spell upon his head, creating a sloth-like salamander. As the salamander gets into Ares's mouth, Griselda asks if it is a curse, for which Kai says that she guessed it right. Griselda asks what kind of curse it is, as Kai says that it's a curse that will be like a living hell for him. Griselda asks what kind of living hell, for which Kai says that she will understand it in a bit. A mark, like something happens to be on Ares' forehead. Kai realizes that is a splendid curse. Sasha recognizes that there aren't even demons who have mastered this much dark magic, and it's getting more and more suspicious. Kai sees the situation upon the two. He comments that they have to do something about their clothes. Sensing the situation, Griselda and Sasha get embarrassed as Kai uses his dark magic to cast Walak Closet to open an inventory, saying that something to wear as he finds something for changing, saying that it would have been better to not do it here. As Sasha and Griselda move out to another room to get changed, Kai thinks that it's almost noon. Ares will soon receive the Brave class. Besides the curse, any damage will be completely recovered thanks to the Brave skill. The issue is the sacred sword. Griselda comes in dressed as a maid. She says that it's her first time wearing something like this, for which Kai compliments her, saying that she looks good. Embarrassed by this, Griselda thanks him. Sasha comes in, saying that to dress Griselda in a maid cloth, she can't believe it. Griselda compliments Sasha, saying that she looks good. Kai asks if he could have a minute, as there is something he needs to explain to both. He explains everything about him, leaving Griselda in disbelief that he came from 5 years from the future and to find out that she was a demon lord. Kai says that not only that, he explains that he was killed by Ares in the future and was betrayed by the Braves' party. That's how he doesn't trust neither in the Brave nor in the people. Sasha comments that if it's true that he really came from the future, then she can understand his magic skills, and besides, Griselda becoming the demon lord is highly reliable information. Griselda comments that if he were setting a trap, he would probably come with a better lie. And above all, Kai is their savior. Griselda asks what he is going to do from now on, for which Kai, quite determined, says that he's going to destroy Erza. Griselda, hearing this, is surprised, saying that Erza has turned their people into slaves, and she's selling valuable crystals from their territory. Even at this very moment, her people are suffering. Kai assures that he will get it back. Griselda asks if he can save their people, for which Kai nods his head. This makes Griselda cry, saying that she's so glad. With this, she will be able to face her late dad. Kai asks that, in exchange for that, can she let him and Colette live there, as she is his fiancée? Griselda, hearing this, asks if this is what he meant when he asked to cooperate with them. If it's something like this, it will not be a problem. Kai says that she is going to receive the Saint class today, which flinches Griselda. Asking if he takes the Saint, the Holy Kingdom will send men after him. Kai says to leave that to him. In the future, even if the Holy Kingdom attacks them, he will be prepared for it. But as an earthquake-like something happens in the house, Kai swiftly and sneakingly rescues both of the girls out. Griselda asks if they moved out instantly as what happened. Kai says that it's already time and asks them to stay behind them. A person comments that was he always this fast? From the flames, Ares comes in laughing, asking how he is, with a light mark on his hand. Seeing this, Kai summons the demon sword, Tilfing. As a huge tear breaks down on the ground, Ares is quite troubled by this. A huge sword comes into Kai's hand. He realizes that there is no doubt. This is the favorite sword of the demon lord Griselda. As the demon sword Tilf, it increases the wielder's power in accordance with dark magic. It is the perfect weapon for his level 999 black mage class. Scared by this, Ares asks, "What's with that wicked sword?" He laughs, saying that he looked displeased as he noticed the mark upon Kai. He asks if he could be the black mage. He comments down what a tragedy it is. Kai, the brave candidate, ended with a class black mage, and he received the brave. Kai realizes that heraldry and the brave skill reviving life healed him completely, as Kai commented that, as expected, he received brave. Ares screams out, saying that he won against Kai and his time has come now. Griselda asks if this trash is the brave, which is the worst that could happen, for which Ares says that he really beat him earlier, but he will return the favor. He laughs, saying to think that the day would come where he has this. he summons the sacred sword Durandal. As lightning flashes, a sword appears in Ari's hand, saying that this is the sword of the brave, the proof that he's righteous. Griselda and Sasha are taken aback that the famous sword gives out a frightening amount of magic. Even if it's for Kai, it's going to be difficult. Kai, gritting his teeth, thinks that Durandal is the holy sword that killed him in the first life. Ares, laughing, asks Kai to go on and cry and apologize. Kai says that he pointed his sword at him, for which Ares asks if he can't see the difference between them, saying that he is the brave and there is nobody that can beat the overpowered magic of the sacred sword. As he laughs, asking Kai to repent for defying the absolute justice of the brave, Kai slowly approaches Ares, asking him if it's enough blabbing and to come at him at once. He will show him hell. Kai mocks Ares to come at him, as he will break that sacred sword he's so proud of, and if he loses against a black mage, he wouldn't be able to show himself outside. Annoyed by this, Ares says that it's interesting, and it seems that he wants to die. He dashes towards Kai, saying that he will show him, as he's about to slash Kai, but he dodges it quite easily. Kai realizes that it indeed has incredible magic power, but with his sword skills, it's a waste of treasure. As he continuously dodges his slashes, Ares says that running back and forth, he is a coward. Kai thinks that he might be the way, but in the end, he is no more than a level 1. A notification pops out, stating that Kai has received a hidden class in the second life. The hidden class is of Dark Star. Kai is shocked to hear this, as he has never heard of this class. Ares jumps upon Kai to kill him, but the bar states that it's a special class available only for those who have mastered the Black Mage in their first life, and Dark Star allows him to learn all kinds of dark attribute skills. If he does evil deeds, he will receive evil points, and by exchanging those points, he will be able to get skills. Kai realizes that he has to be able to acquire the skills. The status congratulates him, saying that that was a wonderful evil deed and he has received 10,000 EP. Kai says that he hasn't done anything, for which the system asks him if he has helped the demons and become hostile to the brave. Kai realizes that it's right. That's pretty evil, and it will be fine then. A status system shows the currently available skills to buy, as one of them is to summon the demon sword. Kai chooses this to summon the demon sword. Kai comments that Ares is slow, and this way it will be hard to hit him. Kai realizes that the sword is absorbing his magic, and what a pesky thing to do. Griselda realizes that she's sure it's his father's demon sword. Ares is shocked to hear and see the demon sword. Kai playfully tries to slash Ares as his hair cuts off. Ares asks what he is aiming for, but realizes a bunch of houses slash down in an instant. Kai says that he doesn't know how to restrain himself. Ares, scared out of his pants, comments, "What is with that absurdity, and is this the demon sword's power?" Kai inwardly thinks that, not exactly, it's converting his magic into destructive power. But Ares, getting an idea, laughs on saying that he surprised him. Doesn't he know the attribute strength? The sacred sword is light. On the other hand, the demon sword is dark. When the light attribute fights against the dark attribute, the power doubles. He asks him to look at the proof as the light attribute of Durandal's light is getting even more intense. Kai realizes that the strongest light attribute, the sacred sword, is one of a sword. Ares says that he will show him the true power of the sacred sword as he gets amplified up. Kai asks him to come at him. Ares dashes towards Kai with the final strike, saying that this is the brave's power. Sasha and Griselda get shocked at that intense amount of magic. Griselda asks Kai to avoid it, as if he gets hit by this, even Kai will be in danger. As the attack lands on Kai, a huge smoke engulfs Kai. As it withers away, there's nothing down there. Ares, seeing this, laughs on saying that it didn't leave his bits behind, and from now on, it's his time. Everything is his: money, status, honor, and woman. Colette belongs to him now, as Griselda falls in grief. Ares says that, by the way, she should just run away, as now it's their time. But Kai appears before Ares, saying that he had been waiting for this moment. He comments, "Did he think that he has won?" To hear the voice, Ares is taken aback. Kai says a demon sword can't even make one scratch on a sacred sword, but after using the final strike, the sacred sword loses its magic temporarily. He has witnessed the weakness of the sacred sword many times in his first life. In other words, right now he can destroy the sacred sword. Kai screams to disappear from this world, the sword of the brave, as he slashes down Durandal to break it into two. Ares is quite shocked that the sacred sword is destroyed as he's thrown from the shockwave of it. Kai, huffing out, says that this is the reason it's called a demon sword. The amount of magic it consumes is no joke, as he's able to use it for around 15 times max. Kai realized that if he had used it when he was level 1, he would have destroyed himself in an instant. The second life-hidden class, Dark Attribute Dark Star, is a troublesome one. The status opens up, congratulating him as he has destroyed the sacred sword and defeated the brave, and he has received 3,000 points. Griselda, seeing this, gets happy that he made it alive and he defeated him, thanking God. Griselda says that Ares won't awake anytime soon. Kai says that she doesn't have to worry as reviving life can only be used once per day, as the curse from before moves out to his mark. Kai says that when Ares tries to harm others, the curse turns the light heraldry into the darkness heraldry. The proof of the brave light heraldry calls for honor and glory, whereas the darkness heraldry is the opposite. The curse converts into the dark mark. From now on, Ares will be known as the brave imposter. The Austin family's reputation will also fall. This is his revenge against Ares and his father, who took his life. This curse is the sacred sword's destruction. This is the same as killing the brave. As the dawn has come out, Kai thinks that it has become a commotion. Griselda comes to Kai, pleading that with the secret sword's destruction, he has defeated the brave. There is no doubt Kai is the savior of the demon race, as to hail him as the new demon lord, to shock Kai, who is left in disbelief. As the horse is drinking down water from a river, Colette thinks about what Kai may be doing. The little demon assures her that there is no need to worry. At this moment, he should be avoiding the birth of the demon lord. Colette says that it's okay if he's not hurt, for which the little demon assures her that there is nothing that can rival Kai in this world. Colette says that he's a demon, but it really surprised her to see him becoming this tiny, for which the demon asks not to worry, as this is nothing else but a form to hide from the world. He will definitely protect her. Colette says that his wings sound so cute. The demon senses that the holy knights from the holy city are there and tells her to hide away. Colette asks why, for which the demon says that if they know that the strongest Saint Colette has disappeared, the knights must be looking for her with bloodshot eyes. Colette says that she understands as she prays for Kai to come first. Meanwhile, Griselda hails Kai as a demon lord. Kai asks that there's no way that can happen, for which Griselda says that it's right. Kai tries to calm down Griselda, saying that it doesn't mean that he is the demon lord because he could use the demon sword, for which Griselda asks what he is saying. Summoning the demon sword is magic that only demon lord class individuals can use, and it's undeniable proof. Sasha agrees to it, saying that to destroy the sacred sword and defeat the brave, these feats are impossible for anyone other than an all-powerful demon lord. Kai has all the right to be called the strongest demon lord in history. Kai realizes that this is a problem, and it seems that they really think that he's the demon lord, but to be accepted by the demons, it may be more convenient that way. Griselda pushes out, saying that now they know that he is the demon lord, there is only one thing to do, to sign a demon subordinate contract. Kai is quite baffled by this. Griselda asks if he doesn't know about it. The demon subordinate contract is a demon lord's special skill. Those who sign the contract are given classes by the demon lord and are greatly strengthened. In exchange, they swear absolute loyalty to the demon lord. Kai questions that there wasn't a skill like that as he opens the status, and the available skills are increasing. As he finds it, he thinks that he met the requirements in the previous battle. The classes given by the contract are this: the Demon Captain, which can attack with power 1.2x higher, the Demon General with all stats 1.5x higher, and for Heavenly Kings, all stats are up by 2x higher. Kai realized that the reason why the demon army's leader was unusually strong was because of the demon subordination contract. But it states that the agreement between the two parties resulting in signing the demon subordination contract will transfer the class. It is also possible to deprive the class by terminating the contract. Death will come to those who seek to rebel against their lord. Kai realizes that there is death for the betrayers, and such a contract is dangerous. He asks if they are serious. Griselda agrees to it, saying that swearing loyalty if a new demon lord appears is in her father's will, and Kai is a nice guy, so there's no need to doubt it. Kai questions if they are really okay with that, as both of them bow down, saying that it is an honor. Kai acquires the demon subordination contract. Kai calls out to Sasha, saying that he wants to give her the demon general class, for which she is taken aback. Griselda says that, isn't it a good thing? The demon general isn't chosen just for the fighting power. It's perfect for someone as loyal as her. Kai asks how it is, for which Sasha says please bestow her the glorious class demon general, as she will give her best absolute loyalty to Kai. Kai says that he will allow it, as he confers Sasha the demon general class. A mark appears on her hand as she realizes that her power is overwhelming. Griselda realized that this is a demon subordination contract. Kai compliments her, saying that with this, she is a demon general. Griselda asks to give her the power to protect the demons, the class of the glorious 4 heavenly kings, as she swears loyalty. Kai thinks that Griselda, even if he lets her alone, is capable of becoming the demon lord. He can have high hopes for her. He can't believe that to think that day he would come with a subordination contract with the demon lord. He allows it as he confers one of the 4 heavenly kings classes to her. A huge pillar-like power strikes up from Griselda. Griselda cheers up, laughing, saying that she made it. A part of Kai's greatest power is inside her. She has become one of Kai's honorable 4 heavenly kings. Kai, surprised by her powers, compliments her. Sasha congratulates Griselda, for which she says that indeed they escaped from the brave and went under Kai's command. Sasha asks that she hopes to be useful, for which Griselda hugs her, saying that she knows Sasha will be even stronger, and let's build a new demon world with Kai, as they both agree to it. Kai thinks that he defeated Ares and took the demon lord to his side. Fate is definitely changing, but yet something is still disarray. As a number of soldiers are marching out, a commander comes in to ask if he can explain this situation to him, referring to Kai as his son. As the divine knight Gessi asks, why is Ares on the floor, and why is Kai with those demons? Kai protects down Griselda as Griselda asks that he has a firm stand to question who is that, for which Kai answers that the order of the Holy Knight's commander and his father. As the knights rescued Ares, Gessi asks that he didn't show up at the revelation ceremony and what he was doing, for which Kai reveals that he's a black mage. Gessi is shocked to hear this, saying that he was supposed to be brave, for which Kai says that from now on he will work hard to be the demon lord. As Gessi sees the mark on his hand, he gets shattered. That is the dark heraldry. Then he really is the black mage, as he gets insane that the demon is joking about something like this, and he even lost the heart of justice, the pride of the Austin family, for which Kai says that he has seen father's justice from his childhood more than what he wanted, torture, threats, and hiding the demon lord's birth and ordering his own child to be expelled and killed is nothing else but ego. And if that's justice, he is okay being the evil. As Gessi says that he has been corrupted by the dirty class, he warns him not to think that this will go the same as always, for which Kai asks him not to worry as he and the Austin family are useless now, as he uses the expel cast as he burns down the nearby houses. It's reported to Gessi that there is a problem as there is fire rising from the mansion's surroundings, the burning has spread, and the staple seems to have burned down. As Gessi screams to Kai, "What has he done?" Griselda, for which Griselda asks Kai, "When did he prepare this?" Kai reveals that he was looking for them, and he just prepared the fire to be flashy, and there wouldn't be any casualties. But the system congratulates Kai, stating that he has set fire to his parents' house, and it's a wonderful evil deed, and he has received 500 EP. Kai thinks that this is unexpectedly lucky, and it's a system pretty compatible with revenge, and with the right skills of dark attribute enhancement, he can avenge this. As Gessi shouts at Kai that how could he do this, for which Kai tells him that the Austin family must perish as this is his justice, Gessi cries out to Kai as a bit-teed, ordering his knights to kill him as he's not his child anymore. Kai evades the numerous stabs and slashes down the soldiers as he asks them to sleep for a while. Meanwhile, Gessi charges at Kai, saying not to get carried away as they were bait to throw away from the beginning, for which Kai says that he knows as he summons the Tilfing sword as to parry his slash. As Gessi questions if that sword is the demon sword, Kai deflects it and cuts down his arm, making Gessi screaming in pain. As the soldiers tend to treat him, Gessi asks, "Isn't that a demon sword?" As to realize that he has abandoned his humanity, but Gessi uses night recovery, saying that he failed as just one arm, it will immediately recover, but to notice that his arm isn't recovering as it is the effect of eternal blood, for which Kai says that is a magic skill that prevents any forms of F recovery. It's a superior magic skill that level 850 Black Mage can learn. As he cast it the moment he slashed him, it's unrecoverable even for the saint, as he has stopped the bleeding as of his one lost filial pity. As Gessi screams that he was supposed to have just received this class, so how can he do that? For which Kai says that a warrior that has lost its dominant arm is the same as a dead man. His justice no longer has enough power, for which Kai remembers the tragedies he has done to him. Kai says that he was killed by him, after all, as the system congratulates Kai that he has left his father beyond recovery and has received 500 EP. Meanwhile, Gessa spots Ares fainting down on the ground as he smiles. As Gessi spots Ares, saying that if Kai is not the brave one, Ares will surely be blessed with the brave title, and the prophecy of Saint Johann is absolute. As Kai remains silent, Gessi goes on ordering his knights to use recovery magic on Ares, as together with the brave, they will bring down the evil mage. As the soldier shivering out calls for commander pointing towards his hand as Gessi asks what it is, to spot the darkness heraldry on Ares' hand. He questions that Ares has it as well, and there is no way that Johann's prophecy cannot be wrong. Kai thinks that exactly Saint Johann's prophecy is not amiss. In fact, Ares received the brave class. Just now, because of his curse, the light heraldry was cogged as a darkness heraldry, as he thinks that Johann is the greatest threat to his plan. He knows it very well because he was in the Braves party, and the unique skill prophecy allows him to see fragments of the future within a range of 7 days, and he needs to get rid of him as soon as possible. As Kai asks if Ares is expelled as well, as to think all his work got him a demonic class and his family is finished, it isn't it. Gessi screams out, saying that this is a nightmare and what will happen to the Austin family's glory, as a soldier asked his commander what they should do with Ares and should they cast a recovery magic on him, for which Gessi orders him not to leave him be that dirty being, as the Austin family has no need for dark attribute classes and to take care of him. Kai thinks that what a fool the brave is right here with this Ares, will lose his position as an aristocrat, and he has achieved his first goal as his business here is done. As Kai asks his father that he will take his leave, for which Gese asks, that is he really going to take the demon's side, him the legitimate son of his house for which Kai abides, remembering the past atrocities they have done to him, as Colette is the only person he can trust, as he asks the girls that they should follow him. He realizes that looking at those two shows, the demons have a bigger heart, and they are too bright for him, someone who has suffered through the ugliness of humans, as he bids farewell to his father, who is left shocked and shattered on the ground. As they leave, the guard asks what's happening inside, for which Kai says that this is perfect, as he orders him to tell his father that he doesn't need to see him off, and that he will kill all the pursuers, as he asks the soldier that he will leave it to him. Kai uses the shadow instantaneous movement to move out as Kai appears out on the ground with them, shocking Griselda and Sasha about what happened, for which Kai comments that they should go. As Griselda and Sasha compliments that what useful magic, as they have already come this far, for which Griselda says that he did a wonderful job showing no mercy towards his father, for which Kai thanks her, as Griselda asks, that is it okay to assume that they will now be going to their territory, for which Kai says that of course let's hurry, but before that he want to go to the Lacus Village where Colette is, and just in case he should train the two of them, for which Griselda claims that can they still get stronger, for which Kai spells cast upon them, saying that he will lend Griselda and Sasha a level 10 dark attribute enhancer, as the both of them feel powered as the heat is flowing inside them, and it's too stimulating for them. Griselda thinks that it's one of the abilities from the demon subordination contract. It allows them to lend skills to their subordinates, while Kai thinks that the skill doesn't disappear from their list rather than lending it, more like sharing. But like this, Kai feels sorry for Sasha and Griselda, as Kai thinks that they have to take a break as he continuously thinks about Colette, that if she is safe as this bracelet that Colette gave this to him as a gift, wishing him well, although it's broken, he can feel its strong magic, and it means that thanks to this all happened. Kai thinks that this skill surely will be here, the item appraisal thing. As Kai appraises the bracelet, it appears to be a time bracelet that prays for a reunion with loved ones. It contains the Saintess of Time and has already lost the power to control time. It increases the owner's magical defense by 5%. Kai realized that just he thought it was because of this power that he arrived a second time, and Colette did that knowing it. And as he grits his face, the Austin family that tore them apart has already been crushed, and the future can be changed as he is determined to be together happy with Colette, and the Saintess of Time would be hers hidden class. Just like him, he realizes that she wasn't just a saintess. Anyway, he needs to join Colette as soon as possible, as Griselda asks, "What's the matter, and why is he spacing out?" Kai says, "Let's go, and be careful." Kai prays for Colette to wait for a bit. Meanwhile, a holy knight reports to his official that they have finally found her, as the official creepily claims that they have finally found the Saintess of Time.